Page number 121. Handbook for Mankind Buddhadasa Bhikkhu Tampasata Bhikkhu Handbook for Mankind. As we can see, this defining it as its origins in delusion and misunderstanding. The most of us have our own ingrown beliefs in mystical powers as a result of having been misinformed and led astray by actions. We did not go into any more detail here, but though it may be rather disturbing, everyone ought to do something. Everyone ought to do some critical self-examination along this line. It is first doing defilements, namely self-belief, doubt, and superstition. But being completely given up, one is said to have attained the lowest level in the supramundane plane. That is, to have become a stream enterer. To give up completely these three refinements is not difficult at all, because they are just primitive qualities possessed by primitive, underdeveloped people. And anyone who has studied well and made place these three elements should not be sent. And if they are, then that person's mind should be considered still primitive. Anyone ought to be able to give up these three defilements and become an Aryan. If he can't, he is still a foolish and deluded person, or, to use the bad term, a whirling someone with a thick, bright fog covering the eye of insight. When any individual has managed to give up these defilements, his mind is free from bondage to the world. These three are ignorance and delusion, obscuring the truth, and are fetters binding the mind to the world. Giving them up is like rendering ineffective three kinds of bondage, all three bright forms, then sleeping free and rising up beyond the world into the first supramundane level. This is what it is to become an Aryan of the first degree, to attain the first level in the supramundane plane. Such an individual is called a streamer individual, one who has attained for the first time the stream that flows on to nirvana. In other words, an individual at this stage is attained to attain nirvana, at some time in the future. What he has attained is only the stream of Nirvana, not Nirvana itself. This stream is a course that flows right on to Nirvana. Inclining towards Nirvana just as the water course of the river slopes down towards the sea, though it may still take some time. A mind which has one center, the stream is attained to achieve Nirvana eventually. Attaining the second level in the supra-mundane plane implies giving up the three fetters just mentioned, and further being able to attenuate certain types of craving, aversion, and delusion to such a degree that the mind becomes illuminated. The mind becomes elevated and only very feebly attached to sensuality. It is certainly how that an individual who achieves this level will return to this world, but not only once more. Hence he is known as a once returner. A once returner is closer to Nirvana than a stream enterer. There remaining in him no more than the trace of worldliness. Should he return to the sensual human world, he will do so not more than once, because craving, aversion, and delusion, though not completely eliminated, have become exceedingly attenuated. The third state is that of the never return. This grade of Aryan, besides having succeeded in giving up the defilements to the extent necessary for becoming a once returning, has also managed to give up the fourth and the fifth fetters. The fourth fetter is sensual desire, and the fifth is ill will. Neither the stream enterer nor the ones returning has completely given up sensual desire. In both of them, there is still a remnant of satisfaction in alluring and desirable objects, even though they have managed to give up self-belief, doubt, and superstition. They are still unable to relinquish completely their attachment to sensuality, of which some traces remain. But an Aryan at the third stage, the never returner, has succeeded in giving it up completely, so that not a trace remains. The defilement called ill will, which includes all feeling of anger or resentment, has been watched out to a large extent by the once returner, so that there remains only a trace of ill humor to obstruct his mind. But the never returner has got rid of it together altogether. Thus, the never returner has thrown off both sensual desire and ill will. The sensual desire or attachment to an satisfaction in sensuality was explained adequately in the section on sensual attachment. It is a chronic defilement, firmly fixed in the mind as if it were a very part of it, of the same substance. For the ordinary man, it is hard to understand and hard to eradicate. Anything at all can serve as an object for desire. Colors, shapes, sounds, odor, taste, and tactile objects of any sort. Kind and description. These are sensual objects, gamma, and the states of mental attachment, which takes the form of satisfaction in these desirable objects, is sensual desire. Gamaraga, Gamraka, คือความอยากความต้องการในสิ่งที่สวยงาม What we call ill will is the reaction of a mind that feels dissatisfaction. If there is satisfaction, there is sensual desire. If this satisfaction, ill will, most people's minds are subject to these two states. There may arise ill will towards even inanimate objects. And what is more, one can even be dissatisfied with the things one has produced oneself, the things that arise in one's own mind. Whether it's actual an anger towards an object. Ill will has become too fierce, and Arion at the stage below the non-returnee has given it up to a degree appropriate to his station. The ill will that remains for the third grade of Arion to relinquish is just a mental reaction so subtle that possibly no outward evidence of it appears. It is an inner perturbation not revealed by any facial expression, yet present inwardly as dissatisfaction, as irritation or annoyance at some person or thing that does not conform to expectation. Imagine a person completely devoid of every form of ill will. Consider what a very exceptional individual he would be, and how worthy of respect. The five defilements we have just been discussing were grouped together by the Buddha as a first to be given up self-belief, doubt, superstition, sensual desire, evil have all been given up by an Aryan at the third level, because there remain no sensual desire. This great Aryan never again returned to the sensual state of existence. This is why he gets the name Never Returning, one who will never come back. For him there is only movement forward and upward to arahantship and nirvana, in the state having nothing to do with sensuality, as supreme divine condition. As for the five remaining defilements, it is only the arahant, the fourth grade of Aryan, success in relinquishing completely. Until page number 124. 124. Have a wonderful day, all day, all the time. Bye bye. Chúc chúng ta cao, kiên kỳ thật. Ở với đất xin, mà ta đi. Kiên kỳ thật, cảm. Sầm đi bò.